I started with the food shelf around 1988.
I've been involved since about 2008.
I started with the food shelf probably about 8 years ago.
I've lived in the area since '02,
okay.
And I've been coming here off and on, and that meant, what, 12 years?
The Centennial Community Food Shelf has a long history of serving those in need. What started as a single individual delivering food to the homes of families in need has grown to an organization that serves hundreds of families every month and purchases thousands of pounds of food to meet demand. This growing community organization is no longer run by just one individual, but by a large group of volunteers.
When we started, we were a small group. Now we're a large group. I want to say we're probably 150 volunteers maybe, in that range. And from top to bottom, there's no paid staff. We're complete, all volunteer run.
Back in the 80s, when the newly formed food shelf was coming up with a name, they felt that it was important to have the word community in whatever name they chose. The food shelf is a community endeavor. It is truly neighbors helping neighbors.
It is very local, and we have, like Ron was saying, the Girl Scouts help us out, the Boy Scouts do food drives, the city of Circle Pines does their Santa truck and they bring over food. We have the men's group at St. Joe's is doing a huge food drive this weekend to bring in supplies for the Christmas season. And it's all the area churches and all the local civic organizations.
About a year ago, the food shelf had reached a point where it could no longer operate in its current location. This led them to the city of Circle Pines, who had space open in the basement of City Hall.
I go to church at Our Savior's Lutheran Church in Circle Pines. That's where the food shelf used to be. So I was kind of aware that the food shelf is outgrowing their ability over there, and they kind of needed that space for other programming, for some of the youth programming. So I knew some of the people involved, and then at the same time, all of a sudden here comes the folks from the food shelf. We started having some conversations. It just seemed like a natural fit. It kind of does a community need. So you have your city hall in the upstairs, and in the lower level then you have your food shelf, so it's worked out perfect.
We were able to get this approximately 2,000 square feet. Where we were in before, a room about this size was the max we had, which was about a 10 by 20 square foot room.
Mayor Bartholomew sees partnerships between government and nonprofit service organizations as a way for a city to help meet the needs of its residents while not putting the burden on taxpayers.
If there is not a Centennial food shelf like this, who feeds folks? And the answer is pretty soon they will be coming to the government. And we know that people don't like a lot of taxes. We know they like to keep government kind of in a somewhat smaller box. And so what we do is we partner. We partner with nonprofits. And this is, like I say, it's a perfect example of a city where its residents have needs. There maybe aren't really appropriate or really perfect fit for city dollars and tax dollars. You'd like to find some partners. In the end, you reach out, here's a food shelf, all kinds of connections with the churches in the community, do their own fundraising, do all their own work, bring in their own folks, do wonderful, tremendous service to all of our residents.
The volunteers range in age from high school students to senior citizens. They are all committed to serving those in need. Pat has taken on the role of hospitality angel and knows that each family has a different story that has led them to the food shelf door.
People are coming in for a variety of reasons. You know, they're in a position where they just need a little extra help, whether it's because of unemployment or health issues, and everybody's story is different. And everyone is always very appreciative. And, you know, and sometimes they just need a little, you know, someone to talk to or hug or and we try to provide that as well, and try to provide a very welcoming atmosphere.
Kippy is one client that the volunteers have been able to develop a relationship with over the last decade. There was a time in her life that Kippy never thought she would need a food shelf, but now she calls the Centennial Community Food Shelf a real blessing.
It means a lot. It really does, because it's hard to stretch your money nowadays. It's just, I never thought I'd be in this predicament. I used to design multi-million-dollar homes, and the economy took a dump, and here I am going to a food shelf.
There are several ways for you to come alongside the Centennial Community Food Shelf. Of course, donations of cash or food are always welcome.
Financial needs are what keep us going, or the financial donations, just like Thrivent gave us a nice check today, and all those things that come in during the year allows us to buy food at about 12 cents a pound through Second Harvest, and we get a variety of things. So that helps the people that come in. They get to pick if it's what kind of cereal they want or what kind of meat they want. We can provide those things to them.
We have organizations within the community that do food drives, and that's great as well. We also have just individuals that bring in the summertime. Sometimes people will bring in produce from their garden and share that, and clients enjoy having fresh produce as well. So we're open to any of those kinds of donations.
Some people might not be able to write out a check to the food shelf, but Pat encourages you to try and find time to give back to your community through volunteering.
It's not a huge commitment for a volunteer to come, and it's very flexible as far as how often you would like to work. We do have church groups, as Ron had said. We've got different church groups. It's an ecumenical kind of thing, which is wonderful because we have churches from all over the community of all different denominations coming with groups of volunteers. And it's just a way to kind of give back to the community a little bit. And like I said, it's not a huge commitment time-wise. It can be kind of as much as you want it to be.
The volunteers and the clients all agree that serving your neighbors is a rewarding experience for all of those involved.
Over time, it's been kind of a passion of mine, and it's something I really believe in. I really like helping people, and I see a lot of goodness that happens here. And there's a lot of rewards in seeing people that are getting what they need.
To get it out there, people need help. People need to have. When I had money, I helped. But I don't have the money right now. But if people that have money, they can help, or even just volunteering to help out at the food shelf. They need workers too. And you give back to the community. You'll get it back tenfold someday.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.